Yo, my shit is mad nappy. I should have cut my hair before this. Anyways, is your favorite YouTube dealer. I appreciate you guys for stopping in. Eminem, talking to myself. We got to get back in that M bag. I feel like I've done so many Eminem reactions, though. It's hard to find shit that I haven't done. But I was going through the Recovery album and like trying to match it up to reactions that I've done. Now, we had my old main channel, Duane TV, where a lot of those got privated. But obviously, I can still see them. So I was looking to see if I did any of these there, looking at my new reaction channel. And I want to say the only one, well, I didn't go through all of them. There might be a couple more. But one of the ones that popped up that I didn't see on either of my channels was Talking to Myself. I played a little snippet of it. Didn't sound familiar to me. So we're going to dive into this for the first time. For anyone that doesn't know, I've explained this a bunch before, but from like 2012, 2013 up until like 2019, when I started to do music reactions again, or 2020, I think it was, somewhere around that period of time, I didn't listen to much music at all from anybody. So I missed all of those M albums that came out between that period of time. And even some that came out like around 2011, 2012, whatever was dropping then, I was like listening to less because I was making music myself. And so since then, I've been on a mission to try to go back and listen to all the shit from M that I've missed out on. And I feel like we've knocked a majority of it out, but I'm finding we still have a few things in there. So we're going to dive into that today. Appreciate you guys. Let's see what this man was cooking with.
Man, I just want to thank everybody for being so patient and bearing with me over these last couple of years.
I feel the same way.
Shit out.
Kobe. Okay.
I feel so alone, nobody but me, I'm on my own. Is there anyone out there who feels the way I feel? That there isn't let me in, so I know that I'm not the only one. I went away, I guess, and opened up some lanes, but there was no one who even knew I was going through growing pains. Hatred was flowing through my veins, on the verge of going insane. I almost made a song dissing Lil Wayne. It's like I was jealous of him cause of the attention he was getting. I felt horrible about myself. He was spitting and I wasn't. Anyone who was buzzing back then could've got it. Almost went at Kanye too. Got it, feels like
Okay, see, that's crazy. Of all the songs I haven't heard, this is one of the ones that I've not came across yet, and that's wild to me. So he's like, I went through a period of time where I was hating myself, and I was jealous of the attention Lil Wayne was getting, which you assume is around maybe Carter 2, Carter 3 era Wayne, right? It's got to be somewhere around there. He's like, so I almost dissed Wayne. He's like, the shit, I almost dissed Kanye too. And pretty much anybody back then that was spitting could have got it, just because I was in just a bad headspace. And I didn't like that I maybe felt like he wasn't doing the same shit that he was doing in the very beginning, wasn't maybe getting the same attention initially. You know, obviously, as we know now, M is one of the biggest artists ever, like across all genres. So, you know, but there's also down periods in your career, especially like when you come off of some of those first few albums he dropped, which were so amazing. And some people started to question some of the other ones. Like, I'll be real with you, I wasn't an Encore fan. Still not. There's a few songs on there that are dope. But in my opinion, for what I like, and what I was drawn to Eminem for, it was not an encore, like almost at all. And that's just, I mean, it's a fact. But whether or not you think that it's still good is a subjective thing. It's up to you. So I'm not saying that it was a bad album. It just wasn't an album for me. And I feel like around that period of time, he probably got a lot of shade, a lot of hate, people saying, oh, this, that, and the third. And then, you know, it just kind of snowballs from there. And so he sees other people popping. And, you know, sometimes you let your jealousy and your envy get a little bit ahead of itself and shit gets a little bit crazy. But that's where, you know, you got to try to keep yourself in check. And obviously he was able to do that if he didn't go at those people and diss them.
On the verge of going insane, I almost made a song dissing Lil Wayne. It's like I was jealous of him cause of the attention he was getting. I felt horrible about myself. He was spitting and I wasn't. Anyone who was buzzing back then could've got it. Almost went at Kanye too. Got it, feels like I'm going psychotic. Thank God that I didn't do it. I'd have had my ass handed to me. And I knew it, but proof isn't here to see me through it. I'm in the booth, popping another pill, trying to talk myself into it. Or you
Another thing that I like is how humble Eminem is, despite the fact that he's got like literally one of, if not the biggest fan base in hip hop, and they will champion him against anybody. Does not matter who he goes against. Like they got him winning no matter what. right? And I feel like that, that's how you should feel if someone's your favorite and stuff for the most part. I mean, there's people that I think are in my top favorite list, but I wouldn't say that they're like gonna do amazing in every aspect. Like there's things where they fall short of other artists, but I like how like there are moments where he kind of gives himself props, and I think that that's deserved, right? And I feel like you should do that because it's just good mindset of like, yo, I can beat everybody, right? Like, it's good to have that mindset because that allows you to be great, even if you don't actually beat everybody. But I like how he also has moments where he kind of reflects back and says shit like right there. He's like, I'm glad I didn't do it. Like this Wayne, Kanye, and these different people because I would have probably got my ass handed to me.
Psychotic, thank God that I didn't do it. I'd have had my ass handed to me, and I knew it, but proof isn't here to see me through it. I'm in the booth, popping another pill, trying to talk myself into it. Are you stupid? You will start dissing people for no reason, especially when you can't even write a decent punchline. Even you're lying to yourself. You're slowly dying, you're denying your health is declining with your self-esteem. You're crying out for help. Is anybody out there? It feels like I'm talking to myself. No one seems to know my struggle. So alone, nobody but me, I'm on my own. Is there anyone out there who feels the way I feel that there isn't let me in? Just so I know that I'm not the only one. You're no longer the man, that's a bitter pill to swallow. All I know is I'm wallowing, self-loathing and hollow. Bottoms up on the pill bottle, maybe I hit my bottom tomorrow. My sorrow echoes in this hall though, but I must be talking to the wall. I don't see nobody else. I guess I keep talking to myself. But all these other rappers suck is all that I know. I've turned into a hater, I put up a false bravado. But Marshall is not an egomaniac, that's not his motto. He's not a desperado, he's desperate. His thoughts are bottled inside him. 1 foot on the brake, 1 on the throttle. Falling asleep with writer's block in the parking lot of McDonald's. But instead of feeling sorry for yourself, do something about it. Admit you got a problem, your brain is clouded. You pouted long enough, it isn't them, it's you fucking baby. We're worried about what they do and do shady. I'm fucking going crazy.
So it sounds like one of his problems was that he was having writer's block. He couldn't come up with anything to write. He wasn't thinking clear. Like he said, my brain was cloudy. And whether that was because he was like ramping up the amount of drugs he was doing, or if at that point he was also starting to try to come down from not doing the drugs, because this album is recovery, right? So I assume if they go based on his pattern of like how he was actually doing in life, that this was after he had finished all of that. But then again, he's looking back in the past when he's talking in this song quite a bit, saying like, I almost did these things before. And then he also mentions popping a whole bunch of pills and shit like that, trying to talk himself into it. So I feel like at the time when he's talking about throughout this song, it's a time when he was still doing drugs, but he might have been at the peak of his drug use. And that might be why he was cloudy and starting to, his brain was starting to take on the effects of all this shit he's done for however many years. Because at first you get away with it, but after a while, it just starts to take a toll on you, whether it's mentally, physically, and you start to end up in a certain spot.
So alone, nobody but me, I'm on my own. Is there anyone out there who feels the way I feel that there isn't let me in? So I know that myself off the ground and fucking swam for I drown. Hit my bottom so hard I bounced twice. Suffice, this time around it's different. Them last 2 albums didn't count. Encore, I was on drugs. Relapse, I was flushing them out. I've come to make it up to you now, no more fucking around. I got something to prove to fans cause I feel like I let them down.
See, hey, I feel justified now because he said himself, those last 2 albums didn't count. Encore, I was on a whole bunch of drugs, and then in Relapse, I was flushing them out. And I feel like I feel like personally, when I listen to Encore, at least myself, you don't have to admit it, I will for myself. But when I listen to that, I feel like that's somebody that's on some crazy ass drugs, a lot of them. Because it's just the most wild, random, it just seems so crazy compared to the shit that came before it. And not to say that he wasn't on drugs before, but I feel like that's when it got out of control, in my opinion. That's what it seems like.
Myself off the ground and fucking swam for I drown. Hit my bottom so hard I bounced twice. Suffice, this time around it's different. Them last 2 albums didn't count.
And he said he said he bounced twice. Okay. I'm just curious because I don't know what the sales were. I feel like his sales of all his albums, even the ones that didn't do that well, are insane numbers compared to a lot of artists. So it's like a flop for him or one not doing so well for him is still like top tier for most artists.
Core, I was on drugs, relapse, I was flushing them out. I've come to make it up to you, now no more fucking around. I got something to prove to fans, cause I feel like I let them down. So please accept my apology, I finally feel like I'm back to normal. I feel like me again. Let me formally reintroduce myself to you for those of you who don't know. The new me's back to the old me, and homie, I don't show no signs are slowing up, blowing up all over. My life is no longer a movie, but the show ain't over, homos. I'm back with a vengeance, homie. Weezy, keep your head up. T.I., keep your head up. Kanye, keep your head up. Don't let up, just keep slaying them. Rest in peace to DJ cause I know what it's like. I struggle with this shit every single day, and
And then the fact that he gave a shout out to Kanye, Lil Wayne, but also mentioned T.I. makes me feel like T.I. was another person he was considering dissing.
it feels like I'm talking to myself. No one seems to know my struggle and everything I come from. Can anybody hear me? I guess I keep talking to myself. It feels like I'm going insane. Am I the one who's crazy? So why in the world do I feel so alone? Nobody but me. I'm on my own. Is there anyone out there who feels the way I feel? That there isn't, let me in, so I know that I'm not the only one.
So there it is. Damn. Feels like I just woke up or something. I guess I just forgot who the fuck I was, man. Hey yo, and to anybody I thought about going at, it was never nothing personal. Just some shit I was going through. And to everybody else, I'm back.
Yo, that was dope. Okay. All right. I'm happy that I found that one to check out because I had never heard that and I had no clue that he had ever even thought about dissing those people. So that was really interesting to me. I got to look through the rest of Recovery, find out what other ones I've never uploaded and I've not listened to. We'll check those out. I don't know if there's anything left on Relapse. We might have went through Relapse. And Encore came out at a time when I was still listening to M. So I feel like I listened to the album. I just wasn't a big fan of it. And so I didn't really go back and revisit it. But I'll check to see if by chance there's anything that I don't feel like I've ever heard, but I feel like I've most likely heard Encore. The ones that came before that, I've definitely heard all of them. So if we check out any of those, it's more so just like a reminiscent, like, yo, let's go back and listen to it all these years later and see if it still holds weight and so on and so forth and talk about the good sides of it. If that's something you guys would be interested in, let me know down below. Because I know usually people want a first reaction, and I completely agree with that. And so I always try to find shit that I haven't heard. But I don't lie. Like if I go back and I listen to something from, say, his first album, I will say in the intro, I've heard this obviously when I was growing up, but it's been so many years now. I want to kind of revisit it now that I've got more life experience. I'm older. I've been through some shit in my life and kind of see how I piece it together now as, you know, at an older age. So, you know, if that's something people like, I'm down to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to keep looking for different shit from his albums that have come out that I may not have gotten to yet. And we will drop those accordingly. So I appreciate you. Take it easy. Stay safe. I will catch you in the next one, homies.